So, this is a tube amplifier that I built for my brother-in-law, and it's about 8 watts full power, maybe about 4 or 5 watts clean. And I'm just gonna pan around just to have a registry of what it looks like inside. It's really simple, to be honest. I'm using a 6M2P for the preamp and two 6P14P for the power amp, and it sounds really good. He's using it for harmonica, but this can handle bass and guitar, no problem. It's not the prettiest job, but it works like a charm. I am going to build a layout in do-it-yourself layout creator later, so that I can put it online for other people to check out. Let me try to get the decoupling capacitors for the power supply. They are stacked. 333 microfarad at 500 volts. The B plus is 365 to 370 volts in operation. The tubes are operating at, I believe, 9 watts per plate, and the equivalent cathode resistor is 230. I believe it's 1K in parallel with 300 ohms. I was using only the 300 ohms before, but it didn't sound very good. It sounded a little bit weak, so I bumped it down a little bit to get more current through the tubes, and now it sounds basically perfect. The push-pull is a pull-up for the mid-range resistor for the tone control. It's just a basic treble, middle, bass control, but only treble and bass. Instead of the middle, you have the resistor, the little blue guy right there. Going to the switch, and basically you pull this like so to get more gain, and you push it back if you want less gain and more tone control. This doesn't completely disengage the tone control, it just reduces the effects a lot. You can still reduce some of the treble and affect a little bit of the mid range to the bass control, but it's not as noticeable as when it's in the normal position. The transformer comes from an old Webcore, I believe, reel-to-reel recorder amplifier. I'm using diode rectifiers for the B+, and the filaments are AC with the center tap grounded, and that's about it. There's not too much craziness going on. I do have the volume control decoupled from the output stage. It's a self-split push-pull. Basically you get some signal from the first tube and the output pair from its screen grid to feed the second tube, and that's how you get phase inversion. It's not as efficient as actual push-pull, but it's a little bit more volume than single-ended and has a different sound that's between single-ended distortion and push-pull. So it's different, and I quite like how it sounds. So yeah, that's the tour. And back here we have a line out, volume for the line out, and the 8 ohm output for the speakers, which in this case are just car speakers that my brother-in-law got. They are not very efficient, but they do get the job done. I'm using just a power cable plug with a built-in fuse support thing, and yeah, he got the speaker box made by a friend of his. He painted the corner pieces, but they got scratched up already, which doesn't look too bad. And I also did the design for the panel, which is just printed in gloss paper and then plastified like you do with convention badges and stuff. I have another example here of a print. It's just a normal printer print. Doesn't look too bad. I might actually do this for another project, or I might even redo this project. But this is the final one. As you can see, the color is different between papers because different papers react differently to the same kind of ink. But yeah, the only thing I wish I had gotten better is the alignment when I first drilled everything. As you can see, some of the knobs don't exactly match the alignment. Some do, others don't. But especially this guy. And that's kind of disappointing. But it works. It's not too much trouble to fix this later anyways. I just need to move this maybe 0.01 of an inch or something. It's really minor. And it's the first time I've done like a panel like this. The chassis itself is from a fuse box or switch box, an electrical switch box that you would use for the electrical installations in your home. And yeah, I don't have the tubes on right now just because they are a little bit too tall, the output tubes, for this to properly sit upside down. But I do have here the output tube, which is a 330 040 70 volts 10 watt transformer. You can actually look up this transformer, and there's a thread, I believe, in Do-It-Yourself Audio, where someone tried to push this transformer to its limits and got that it actually can handle only up to 10 watts. And in the end of the thread there's me posting, and I have the wiring diagram for the transformer with all the different colors, because it has many different taps. I cut the ones that aren't being used to reduce possibility of noise and shock hazard and stuff like that. Yeah, so here are the tube sockets. These are vintage tube sockets that I got because I know they are going to last longer, and they are the type that has the 3-sided connector for each pin, which gets a better connection and grabs the tube better, so there's no risk of the tube falling off, in comparison to today's, which are just like two pieces like this that pinch the tube, and with time they just start to open and the tube can fall off. And here is the power transformer. I think that, yes, the number is upside down, but you can see it clearly. It's a nice transformer. It was made for 2 tubes like this, but in mono single-ended, so it is supposed to give more current than what this circuit is actually demanding, so it stays pretty cool. It does get a bit hot, but not because it's being overworked. It's the tubes that heat it up, because I had it connected for like 3 hours here and it was pretty much cold. But inside the box it gets a little warm. And in the box I have the tubes just chilling here, just waiting to be put back. And this actually has seen one live use, because my brother-in-law has a band and everyone seemed to like it, which makes me really happy. But I had to do one little fix, which was, let me grab a light source so you can see this better. Hold on just a second. There we go. And right here where I have this shielded cable going to that pin right there, the amber thing, it's just tape like this. I forgot the name of tape, but it's just tape used for high voltage stuff and heat isolation stuff. And I just added a little bit at the end to avoid any issues with the shield, I kept the shield without any like insulation because it's not going anywhere near any high voltage, but I thought it would be better to at least near the two pins to add a little bit of insulation. So yeah, now I'm going to close this up and send it on its way back to my brother-in-law's so he can enjoy using this for whatever he wants, live shows, recording. So yeah, thanks for watching.